I often hear parents say that their kids, especially teenagers, just won't open up to them. No matter how hard parents try to stay connected with their teens, nothing seems to work. Teenagers often prefer eating their dinners in their rooms, get annoyed when parents are around while they are studying, and usually respond with brief phrases like, okay, no, instead of engaging in proper communication. They don't want to go to events with their parents, lock themselves in their rooms to avoid guests, and rarely share any of their problems. And of course, the biggest complaint is that they're always on their phones. These days, kids are hitting puberty earlier, and even young ones are starting to act like teenagers. They are talking less with their parents and keeping more secrets. Instead of opening up to their parents, children are often observed talking to imaginary friends or just talking to themselves. Although having imaginary friends is a normal part of childhood development. But isn't it concerning that they hesitate to share their feelings with their own parents? Wait, did I just say hesitate? Well, there's your answer. Yes, teens or even small children often hesitate to share their thoughts with their parents. It's not that they don't want to talk or share, but they consciously hold back, worrying about the possible consequences they might face. Let us first understand the possible reasons why children might be quiet when it comes to speaking with their parents. In nuclear families where both parents are working, communication can sometimes be limited. This is especially true for an only child who may often feel more isolated and lack emotional support. The situation worsens when dinner table discussions focus solely on academic performance, evaluations, and criticism, leaving the child feeling even more disconnected. When parents don't realize the importance of spending quality time with their kids, it becomes harder for children to find a safe space to share their feelings. This can make them feel undervalued and unimportant. Quality time doesn't just mean being physically present, it means giving full attention to the child. Often, children are surrounded by adults who are busy with their own gadgets, paying little attention or almost no attention to the child's words. This lack of engagement can be especially disheartening when children are eager to ask questions or just want to share something new they have learned. When we talk about spending quality time with kids, many parents think it just means keeping an eye on their studies. They often believe that academics are the only thing worth discussing with their children. Because of these beliefs, they miss out on addressing their children's emotional needs. Consequently, children also get the idea that parents are solely for discussing academics. Hence, whatever other emotional challenges they face, they avoid expressing them in front of their parents. They think that there is no point in sharing as their parents will never understand. Once this becomes a habit, they gradually withdraw themselves, and communication decreases to almost none after a point of time. In today's fast paced world, adult life often feels like a rat race. And unfortunately, we sometimes push our children into that same race. Competition and comparison are unhealthy parenting styles that can cause children significant stress as they strive to meet parental expectations. When failure leads to criticism, children may feel humiliated and develop a sense of worthlessness. This can be a serious reason why they gradually withdraw from the sources of their distress, which are often their own parents. Parents who rely on harsh punishment or tend to dominate their children often end up raising silent children. This can result in children becoming extremely timid or conversely aggressive, oppositional, and stubborn. In both scenarios, the communication between parent and child is significantly affected. A child may eventually become silent after witnessing numerous conflicts at home, particularly between their parents, throughout their developmental stages. To avoid further conflicts, they may choose to remain silent even when facing significant problems. Children enjoy speaking to active listeners. When they realize that adults are not properly listening to them, they gradually start withdrawing and eventually stop sharing. They feel more connected to those who actively acknowledge their presence rather than those who give passive, reluctant responses. When children try to share their opinions but are immediately shut down by the adults in the family, it can be another reason why they start to withdraw. It's common for adults to think that children can't have valid opinions, so they often ignore what kids have to say. As a result, children may feel that their opinions are unwanted and gradually develop the belief that talking to their parents is just a waste of time. Parents who are emotionally unavailable to their children often end up raising teens who mirror that exact same behavior. Emotionally unavailable parents are generally unresponsive to their child's feelings. For example, they might not give affectionate touches or show any excitement in their voices when their children are sharing their stories of achievements. This can make the child feel unimportant. Sometimes, emotionally unavailable parents dismiss the child's emotional expressions or just invalidate their feelings with a critical tone of voice rather than offering constructive feedback or support. As a result, the poor child gradually stops sharing any of their feelings with their parents. There could be instances where a child's approach is different towards each parent. They might be quite open with one parent but totally detached from the other. In my experience, I have mostly seen children being quite attached to their mothers, but there is always a communication gap or emotional detachment with the fathers. Of course, this is not true for all, but in many families, this picture is quite common. I wish to address this in a different episode. Please remember that children don't become quiet overnight. Throughout their childhood, they may repeatedly face experiences that eventually lead them to become quiet teens as adolescence approaches. That's why mindful parenting throughout childhood is so important. Also remember that your child might be dealing with anxiety and overthinking, which makes them worry about what might happen if they share their concerns with you. They might not want to add to your worries. So instead of being completely silent, they might choose to be selectively silent. If your teen suddenly becomes quiet, starts procrastinating a lot, loses interest in their studies and activities they used to enjoy, gets cranky, cries over small arguments, or stops going to school or tuition classes, it's important to take these signs seriously. Instead of thinking they are just being lazy, recognize that these changes might mean it's time to seek help from a mental health professional. So, how to help children to open up? For more discussions on this, stay tuned to my channel Teen and Tiny Minds. If you like my videos, please share them with your friends, especially those who are parents. Take good care of yourself so that you can take good care of your children. Happy parenting.